My people, it's about that time.
Like a boss.
Live from the USA, hoping you get paid every day. This is the boss of Bitcoin, the Cristo of crypto. It's your boy BK. And if you don't like me, you must not like money. Thank you for joining me, everybody. Today we were doing a live Bitcoin price update. Bitcoin's currently 61,000, had a little bit of a pullback, and we're going to talk about that and help you profit from the greatest transformation of wealth in the history of humanity. So if this is your first time tuning in, congratulations, baby. You're now rocking with the best. My name is BK, also known as the Crypto Trader, and I'm the boss of these charts, as you will soon find out. Every day I grace this microphone with my voice is another day you get to profit as a result, and today is no exception. So if you haven't done it, smash that like button, subscribe. I try to make a video as often as possible to help you get paid, and this is one of the ways we do it. We give away free Bitcoin every Friday, and last time I checked, that was today. So we will jump into the comments, pick a random video, a random comment, and bam! It's just that easy to get paid. Let's go ahead and do it. We got 1, 2, 3. We did 4 videos this week. And so we'll pick a die. The first number is going to be what video we choose going from the top. And the next will be the comment. We only do technically the top 6 comments to incentivize early and often participation. So let's pick the first video. Number 3. That is Free CZ. That was a good one. Binance CEO stepped out of jail. And comment number 6. So hopefully that's a real human. Let's find out. Jump into this. My people. It's about that time. Pause that guy. We don't want to hear him. He lives in the past. We're in the present now. We said comment number 6, right? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. My man, SW Barb. I don't think I've seen you before, but congratulations. You're the winner. Shoot me a message on Telegram at the boss BK, right? And shoot me your Bitcoin wallet, and I will get you some free BTC. So it's just that easy to get paid, everybody. This back in the day, this was kind of my effort to teach people how to download a Bitcoin wallet, how to copy a public address, all that good stuff. But now we just do it to give back to the people and to help incentivize engagement on this platform. So let's jump right into it. This is an article from today, 7 hours ago. Bitcoin may slide to 55,000. Its next move hinges on U.S. job reports and Middle East tensions. If you missed our video yesterday, we actually talked about, the ongoing and inevitable global conflict, as a part of the military-industrial complex, now, because Bitcoin is, a global asset, Wall Street has its hands on it as well, and now it's kind of tied into all of these traditional fiscal policy metrics, jobs report, Federal Reserve, war, it's synonymous with commodities at this point. It's a speculative commodity as far as they're concerned, because the future is a speculation when you control your own freedom. Let me tell you that. When the controllers don't know if you're going to be controlled, then it's highly speculative, right? Crypto investors are closely watching U.S. job reports. No, they're not. But Bitcoin prices have fallen 6.5% over the past 5 days, with the largest cryptocurrency by market capitalization trading around 61,000, right? Bitcoin is up 44% this year. Let's not forget that. but it's retracted about 17.9%. That's actually, a prime number on the Fibonacci scale. 1 and 8 is about 17.5. So that's actually a healthy retracement, given the epic run that it had earlier this season. U.S. payrolls data comes out tomorrow, and the Fed Fund future pricing. So essentially all they're saying is that they speculate that the economy is nearing a recession, and as a point, or as a supporting mantra, the Federal Reserve is being proactive in reducing the rates. However, this jobs report may contribute to that first notion of economic uncertainty, right? And because of that, speculative investments, i.e. Bitcoin, are often those that are kind of pushed to the back burner. It's kind of like buying, what's interesting, I thought about this the other day. It's almost like buying like gold and silver, but instead of just getting the basic bar, the basic ounce, you splurge on like, the PAMP, or something that has a high premium. Like instead of a regular ounce being like $31, $32, you get something that's like $38, $39 an ounce, to where you got a 20% premium in there. Now what's interesting with Bitcoin, I don't even think that premium is taking place yet. Like I've done videos to show you guys, it's like 2 million Bitcoin that's forever removed out of circulation. Many fiduciaries have been buying Bitcoin. BlackRock, MicroStrategy, San Salvador, other countries are buying Bitcoin. The Bitcoin that come, it's the increasing amount of Bitcoin that's not moving on the blockchain, is just sitting in reserves, has increased like month over month for the past 3 years. It's crazy. But yes, so we are tied to Wall Street. So we're, in the same bucket as oil, gold, rice and beans, whatever commodities they have. But they're saying this job report, if it comes out below 100,000, it's likely to be a 50 basis cut in November. So they just cut it in September. So now they're saying if this report is not, up to expectations, then we could have a 50 base point in November. Now, what happens if it comes out and they say, oh, everything is hunky-dory, green means go. Next thing you know, Bitcoin could be 75,000. It could run that way as well. But from what they're saying, I think what we've seen in the market is a strong retracement, especially over the past week. So, it's kind of like buy the rumor, sell the news. This news came out today saying that, Bitcoin is, tied to this report, and it's not looking good. But on the monthly, we've had many coins making money. This is the top 100 on Crypto Bubbles. You can kind of see just that, generally speaking, it was a pretty good month for the altcoins. But within the past week, a lot of that money has left the market, right? And so that's what I look at when I look at these macro trends and macro reversals. Like I kind of see this as a short-term pivot to the down, if you will. We're still pretty good with regards to support. This is the same chart I drew about 2 or 3 weeks ago. It's still holding pretty good. That solid blue line right there. Let's make this a little bit bigger if we can. Let's make it like a 4 point. Can we do that? There you go. So that solid blue line right there, as long as we're above that line, this trend is not broken. In fact, it still wants to continue from the direction from which it came, which is up and to the right. So we have these 2 points, which are influence points. This one is probably the most prominent at this point. 11/15, November 15th, Bitcoin needs to be higher than $57,000. If that's the case, then more than likely this bull run will continue, and you will see BTC rally probably throughout the new year. If we fall, this was kind of like our catch basin right here. Notice we just double dipped and bounced right back up. I think that's kind of like a bullish indicator for BTC. We did not make a lower low right there. We had 3 consecutive lows in a row for BTC. So I'm actually going to color this one green. Actually, let's do it yellow because it's kind of like caution, maybe, question mark. But this one, we're going to do green. right? Because we actually made a little bit of a higher high right there before this last pullback. So I think, honestly, looking at this chart, seeing how long we've been flatlined, like we haven't taken a huge 30 or 40% spill in the past 6 months. This chart has really just been, compressed, running sideways for the past 7 months. Like this thing started St. Patrick's Day in March. It's about to be October, right? So it's like within 20% of where it was 6 months ago. Normally when that happens, Bitcoin gets stronger. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's just waiting. It's just bubbling up below the surface, building up steam. It's like a geyser, and then at any given moment, it like boom, it releases, it breaks out, and it starts into an entirely new cycle. So you can see red, 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 lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower low, lower low, lower low, right? But now we got a yellow and we got our first green, right? So if we get another green, if we can break, what's this point right here, top to the right, if we can break 65,000, right? Well, then you start to argue Bitcoin, is turning that corner. And then we want to break this point right here, 68,000, right? So you want one hit at 65, come back, retrace, one hit probably up here at 70, just skip 68 altogether. Because then it's like, okay, well, what's going on? Then it's like, put your money down. It's like I said, put down 2 and pick up 6. That's when the altcoin markets start warming up. That's when everything starts coming back. But according to this report, that would be indicative of a positive jobs report and the Federal Reserve leaving the interest rate alone or increasing it, right? If they increase it, I don't think they're going to increase it because they just cut it 50 points. Normally they don't. They can't go back and retrace what they said like a month later. Otherwise, people would stop listening. And what would happen if that actually happened, right? If all the sheep said, no, we don't want to hear your voice anymore. We're cutting off CNN. Well, then maybe they lose power. Who knows? Who knows? The world may never know. But until then, 70,000, I think, is this prominent point right here. That's what we want to get above. Once we get above that, we'll probably be off into the races to 88, 92 pretty easily. But when I look at this market, it's very tricky because it's not too many opportunities, to make immediate money. Like even with these, and I'm talking top of the market coins. I'm not talking about Pepe jumped up 200% this month. Like I don't care about that. Even though Pepe is creeping up there, it's like top 100 now, which is crazy. I'm talking about top 10, top 20 coins. So when you look at this chart, the big bubbles, those big green bubbles, are not distributor coins. There goes Pepe right there. So yeah, it's in the top 100, but it didn't make it this month. And so even and that's on a year, on a month, what do we got? Nothing in the top SHIB, right? That's like the only top coin, Aave. So it's not too many distributor coins. Like you want to see Binance making money. You want to see XRP making money. You want to see Ethereum making money. You want to see Solana making money. Like the entire P2P retail credit transmission network is being rebuilt on Solana right now, right? I don't know what happened to Charlie Lee and the Lightning Network. Like somebody need to check on Charlie Lee. Even though he worked for the United Nations now, I heard he sold all his Litecoin and then the price went down. So maybe that's why. But I thought the Lightning Network was supposed to replace Visa, and now they talking about Solana is doing 90 million transactions a day. So, those are the coins that you kind of want to see. Even the exchanges, you got KuCoin, which is down. You got BNB, which is still sitting sideways. Theta, it's not too many distributor coins that are in an ideal position for a big run in the market. Normally you see some of those coins start to make money. You have to remember that the crypto market is literally kind of like a water system, tributaries, right? Currency is energy, is the current of the sea, is water. So the way this whole thing starts It's just water, moving from one big source to a smaller source to a smaller source to a smaller source. And that's what Bitcoin is. Bitcoin is the gateway. Bitcoin is like the bridge. You know what I'm saying? It's like the link between the Atlantic Ocean and the Pacific Ocean. It's like BTC right there in the middle. So it's blockchain, Atlantic Ocean, fiat currency, Pacific Ocean, Bitcoin in the middle, right? But then you got these different lakes. You got XRP, you got Ethereum, you got Binance. You have these different larger bodies of water that then connect to smaller bodies of water and smaller bodies of water. So it's just very interesting to see how these theories are playing out. We're literally watching a new economy unfold every day, being recreated right there in front of our eyes. So it's interesting to see like what coins are the ones that are most influential. Like, who would have thought this coin, Pepe, would be top 100? It's 27 in the world right now. The world, Craig. The world. And so there's a lot of people probably still betting on this coin, right? A lot of money going into this coin. So it just shows you, like, sometimes it's not about the white paper or the team or how much they pay for their latest Bloomberg article. Sometimes it's just about what do the people want to buy, and how it's going to respond in a free and fair market. Not saying that we are free or fair, but this is probably the closest rendition of a free and fair market we're going to have in our lifetime. So it's just interesting to see. Then you got the NFT market, which I haven't even started to discuss on this thing. But hopefully that stays around, because I think we do need some type of marketplace for BTC and derivative products, but it's just too early to tell like what's actually going to have relative value. I don't think it's come out yet. I think it's probably going to be some bridge between AI or gaming, that people can link into, almost like a Microsoft Live account, but it's like your entity on the blockchain, and then you can start to work and make money through this entity. And then you can have different AIs that you build or you own that you can lease to other people that they can use, and then they pay you a percentage of what they make on top of it. It's going to be crazy. Like, it's just going to be different layers of economies built on top of each other, but each economy is tied to its own utility token, its underlying technology, its underlying blockchain-based protocol. And so that's the most interesting part, is we get to start to see, how these things come out. Like back in the day, it was just reading articles like, Theta has signed a contract with Microsoft. And it's like, oh, okay, well, what does that mean? What does that look like? Nobody knows. But now it's like, oh, well, shit, it's like a different world now. It's like Solana coming out here. They about to put Visa out of business, or Visa about to buy Solana, and next thing you know, it's going to go from being $200 a coin to being $2,000 in about 3 or 4 days, because Visa print their own money. They've been doing this since the early 80s. You know what I'm saying? So it's a different world. It's a different world happening right now, but it's very exciting. Congratulations to our free Bitcoin winner. I honestly, I think that might have been their first time comment. I never saw that name before, but it was a genuine comment. Hit me up on Telegram, and if you want to win some free BTC, you know what to do. Shout your city out in the comments, or just leave me a comment, and I'll shout you guys out. I'm going to start doing this at the end of every video. That way everybody gets shown some love. So let's jump into our shout out game real quick. This is the comments we have from our last video. I'm going to save this one because I think it's interesting. But shout out to Detroit. Morris Jones, what up, BK for president? I don't think so. I don't think I could do all that, but I can help the people make some money. How about that? Let's start there. Nowadays, Rome has Bitcoin crypto derangement syndrome. Not me. I stack BTC all day. Great content. Shout out. I don't know what country that is. Morocco? What is it? Let's see. Portugal. There you go. Shout out to Portugal. Yes, good to see you, Tasmania. Plenty of black swans here in Hobart. I would imagine so. Thank you, brother. Big ups to London, Houston, Texas, H-Town. What it do? Well said, good sir. Thank you so much for watching. BK Boss Walking in San Diego. Good to see you overstaying New Tampa, Florida. In the building, and Slovenia. As you can see, like Kala used to say, we global. You know what I'm saying? We all over the world. This is a beautiful community. Thank you to each and every one of you. Let's jump to this one. BK, lots of talk about Diddy videos being sold on the dark web using privacy coins. Care to do a chart on privacy coins? If it's true, should we see strange movements for large transactions? That's very, very interesting. That's a multifaceted observation. And I will do a video to address those different points that you made. And so I'm going to have to probably spend a few days looking up the different privacy coins. And even if that does have any relevant accuracy, you know, how that would look, where that would look, and if it would be detectable, that's what I'll talk about in the video. But it's cool. Like, give me something to do. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate your comment, curiosity, reciprocity, or repository. This is going to be your reciprocity. So I will do a video for that topic. So thank you again to everybody that made it this far. I appreciate you, each and every one of you, each one of us. We're literally watching a new economy, and we do have the empowerment to change our minds and therefore change our worth. So with that being said, it's that time of the day. Signing out. Boss. Boy BK, no matter where you stay, Brazil to Bay, California, all the way back out through Germany. Good night, good morning, and good day. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for your time. Hit that thumbs up button for a player one time. Do that for me if you appreciate mine. Till we meet again, stay cryptic, y'all. Peace.
Like a boss. Arms.